I spent years believing the reason why my relationship felt so heavy was because of me. But what I eventually learned about unhealthy relationships, and specifically unhealthy people in relationships, helped me gain so much clarity. And so that's what I want to share with you in this video today are 3 ways to take a look at your relationship to determine where this heaviness is coming from and why is it all landing on you. So this first way to take a look at your relationship is just to notice when you start to feel heavy. Now, you might already be in a situation where there is a general heaviness that you're always experiencing, but start paying attention to when you are experiencing more. So when I started paying attention to when the weight really started to settle in, and unfortunately, the conclusion that I started drawing is that I was the problem in the relationship, because whenever I came to them, that's when the heaviness would come on. And so since I wasn't in the relationship anymore, I became better at just objectively looking at it and seeing what was actually going on. I started to see and understand that, oh, it wasn't me coming to them, it was how they were responding to me. And it's not that I was just taking on the blame of the relationship and all of the relationship problems, which is heavy, which is heavy enough to crush anybody, but that I was with somebody who wasn't willing to take on some of that weight, and that they weren't willing to take a look at the relationship and see where they were playing into it that was making it feel so heavy. But that is the scary thing about taking on the weight of the relationship, is you don't even necessarily cognitively take it on like, I'll bear all the burdens in the relationship. It's more about trying to find a solution, and you're willing to sacrifice yourself for a minute to try to get to some like root level understanding, because at least you'll have a starting place. But what I didn't realize by taking that on is that I am now doing the job of what is supposed to be a 2-person job. And that's why it feels so heavy, because not only are you doing your part, but you are trying to figure out the person that you're in a relationship's part that they're supposed to give. You cannot be 2 people in one relationship. What I'm trying to get you to pay attention to is, what is the thing in your relationship that keeps coming back to being your fault and that is really stalling the relationship from having any type of repair? Now, this is moving into the next point of the relationship, which is healthy reciprocity. Because there is reciprocity, right? Like I give, you give. But there can be a tone to that type of reciprocity that is very like scorekeeping almost, or just even monitoring in a way that I don't think is the way that you actually want to experience reciprocity. It's more like, oh, hey, I did this, so you need to give that, right? The reciprocity that I'm looking for is that if I'm excited and come to you about something, like let's say I got an unexpected bonus or raise at work, and I go and tell you, you should be mirroring that you are happy and excited for me, and that you should be genuinely happy and excited for me, because that is a healthy person. When you are in a relationship with somebody unhealthy, when you come to them with good news, like they take it. Oh, well, I've been struggling at work, so how can I be happy for you that you got a raise? Like, well, this is our money. It's almost like they just give you something for you to then feel bad for them about, and they take and drain your excitement. Even if you are with somebody who is struggling, in the context example of a job, and you're like, oh my God, I got a raise, this is so unexpected. They're going to be happy for you. Of course, they're going to want their job life to be better. That can exist at the same time, but that doesn't mean they should be sitting there saying, oh, well, jobs are just hard and some of us just don't get raises. No, that is not healthy. I started noticing that I was not being reciprocated in a good way. When I would go and talk to this person about anything, oh, hey, I was having a good day. Oh, well, I was struggling with this at work today. Like it just couldn't come back. And it's not that I was misreading the room or not giving them the attention that they needed. It was just things were as they were. And then I expressed something and the pull down. And that pull down is weight, because you felt good. You felt like you were breaking through. Maybe you even had a moment of relief from all of the things that you were carrying. And instead of them adding to that in a good way, like they added to it in a bad way, which put more weight on you. Yeah, I shouldn't feel that excited. Yeah, they are going through a lot. I guess this is just life. Because the thing about reciprocity is that it is not about you giving as much as you can to then finally be met. It is you give, they give. It is you're here, they get close. You go down here, they help you. And it's not about pulling a person up or down or like making them go crazy. That's what unhealthy people do. It is about experiencing life together, Your wins are their wins. When they're low, you're there to help comfort. And maybe it's something that it affects you too. But it's about going through life together as a unit. Now, in that example that I was just giving, did that feel heavy? No, it felt light. It felt like a relationship I would like to be a part of. It felt like what I think most of us want our relationships to be. And when you have two people doing this just creates unbelievably amazing byproducts in a relationship, because you get to be at new places in your life that potentially you couldn't have gone to alone. So now moving into the last way to take a look at your relationship to see where this weight might be coming from is, are you in a relationship with somebody that can help co-regulate? And this is a natural extension of reciprocity. Okay, like reciprocity is kind of like the first step and co-regulation is the deeper step, which is I'm no longer just relating to you. I'm helping you get through and soothe whatever it is that you need. And if you are somebody who has a history of people pleasing, or you just even feel like you yourself are a burden or can be a burden in the relationship, this is going to feel potentially like you're asking for too much. But this is a part of being in a healthy relationship, right? Like this to me is a relationship benefit, is that when the world gets heavy, when things just are off and you can't quite put your finger on it, when it's just like life isn't lifing the way that you want it to, you have somebody to go to that can genuinely help you get back to a good place. Whether it's giving you space, taking care of some of the things that you normally do, just even being there for you mentally, just to listen without having this need to correct every single thing that you're doing, right? Because criticizing and overcorrection when done too much causes harm. We'll just leave it at that. But to have somebody that you have a safe space with, doesn't matter if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a woman. It does not matter. What matters is that you have somebody that you can go to with your life, with your thoughts. And it's not to put all of your problems onto this other person. It's that you have somebody to help you figure it out so that you can alleviate these weights in life, that you can figure out these burdens or these obstacles that you may be up against. That is the point of having somebody healthy in your life, especially in a romantic relationship. At least to me, like when I think of relationship benefits, I don't think of relationship benefits like how people talk about relationship benefits. I think about it like, can you hold my heart? Can you handle my mind? Can I say what I'm feeling to you and you just be able to sit there and genuinely listen and be attentive and help figure out what might be going on if I ask you for that? Otherwise, can you just give me a hug? Like, that's pretty simple, to just give someone a hug out of like genuine love versus, oh, I'm just giving a hug just to get this over with because they asked for that and now I can get back to my life. And for you to be able to get back to a good baseline in life absolutely is influenced by the quality of the person that you're in a relationship with, and if they have healthy tendencies or unhealthy tendencies. This is, the like get into the heart of the matter and really diving deep, because on the external level, which is where I got stuck for years, it was what I thought was communication, but it was never about communication. It was that I was in a relationship with somebody who was never going to do their part, who was never going to be reciprocal, who was never going to help co-regulate. They were happy with me being alone and dealing with it while they could just go and do whatever they wanted. That is not a relationship. So hopefully now you can start to take a step back from your relationship and look at it as not somebody in the relationship, but as somebody who's looking at it from an objective lens. So you can start to see, okay, this is when the heaviness starts to show up. What is actually making it heavy? Because like I said, I could not figure out during the course of my relationship that it wasn't me coming to them. It was what happened after I came to them and the blowback that I got from doing very normal, healthy things in a relationship. Because I guarantee you, if you are carrying the weight, it is not all yours. And if you are still trying to figure out the type of person that you are in a relationship with to see if they are actually healthy or unhealthy, I would recommend watching this video next so that you can see what unhealthy versus healthy relationship dynamics look and feel like, because unhealthy people can pretend to be healthy. So watch this next.